Welcome to the first edition of Supplier Profile, a new feature where we interview industry leaders asking them to share their perspective on the automotive aftermarket and help us get to know their companies. Today's guest is Dan Shilka, President and CEO of CRP Industries. CRP is a leader in the manufacturing and distribution of innovative products and solutions for European and domestic shops and has been a partner of SSF for decades. Welcome to the program, Dan.
Hey, thank you, Trevor. I really appreciate the opportunity to be on.
Absolutely. So let's jump right in. Can you start by giving us a brief overview and history of CRP and your role with the company?
Sure. So CRP was founded by my grandfather in 1954 as Continental AG's general agent in the US. So, for 25 years, we were a tire company building Continental's business throughout North America. So in the late 1970s, my father took over and he rebuilt CRP as an automotive parts supplier. So using Conti's belts and hoses as a foundation, we started working with other German manufacturers such as Pentison, Bruce, and Phoenix. And it was around this time that we started our 40-year relationship with SSF. I joined the company in 1998 after serving 8 years as a submarine officer in the United States Navy. I'm not sure I could have found a better training ground. Throughout my time in the Navy, I was leading people who were older than me and knew a lot more than me. Taught me to lead with humility and to focus on serving those who I led. These lessons paid off when I joined CRP and found myself again leading people who were much more experienced than me. Under my watch, CRP developed the ContiTech timing belt kits and built the Rhine brand. At the time, we were partnered with many OE manufacturers, but we did not package or catalog the parts. So by placing these parts under the Rhine brand, we made it easy for professional technicians to find and to trust our high quality parts. So we continue to evolve, having acquired the AAE steering remanufacturing business a few years ago. And just recently, we sold our belt business to Continental. So we've created a new business through this remanufacturing electronic power steering and other complex mechatronics. And with input from our technician council, we're also developing innovative problem solvers for our Rhine brand. So this is all part of our vision to be the service market partner for creating solutions to problems caused by advanced technology.
Wow, what a rich history. I really appreciate you sharing that with us and the viewers, of course. So the topic of the day on a lot of people's minds is the COVID-19 pandemic. I'm curious, before it started, what was your outlook for 2020?
We came into this year very excited for the growth of our Rhine, AAE, and Pentison brands. Thanks to the work we've been doing, developing the latest applications for key product lines. The Conti sale was behind us and we were firing on all cylinders. I also thought the overall aftermarket was looking strong, with rapidly rising numbers of vehicles in operation in the 6 to 12-year-old range. So this coupled with a strong economy looked very promising.
Interesting. Yeah, absolutely. So when you look at the automotive aftermarket and you're standing in January looking forward, what were the biggest industry challenges from your perspective?
By far the biggest challenge for the automotive aftermarket is the change in technology in cars. In particular, the electrification of everything under the hood.
Absolutely. It's caused a lot of us to have to refocus and rethink how we do things. So now that CRP is in the midst of this pandemic, what is the biggest thing that has changed for CRP?
So, the biggest impact for us has been the huge drop in sales. Our April sales were more than 50% down. Like everyone else, we've had major changes in how we operate, physical distancing, remote work, use of PPE, cleaning and disinfecting protocols, and no travel.
Right. Well, you're certainly not alone in that type of impact. And I know we're all working together to bring this industry back forward. So because of that, what are your business expectations for the coming 12 months?
So, I think a lot of the stuff that's changed is going to stay the same, is going to stay that way. But what I expect sales to come back. I really expect a rebound. People need their cars now more than ever. It's an extension of their home. So I think we'll find that miles driven will come back up to a level, maybe 20% below normal, but much above the 50% below normal that it is right now.
Right. Well, good. We definitely agree with that assessment. So when you look at your program offering, has the crisis impacted that?
Actually, we're developing new parts as fast as ever. Just this week, we did our first remanufacturing run on 2 new electronic power steering racks.
That's great. I mean, like they say, never waste a good crisis, and it definitely seems appropriate in what CRP is doing to take advantage of a little bit of the downtime. Do you feel like the company is becoming a better company during this crisis?
I do think so. We've always been an innovative company, which has helped us find a way to thrive in many a crisis in the past. Our pivot into automotive parts, for example, was driven by a crisis when Continental acquired General Tire and no longer needed CRP in the in the tire business. Uh, Crisis is a great motivator for driving change. Obviously, this pandemic is awful, and it is going to lead to lots and lots of changes. We're going to make numerous improvements in the process. The most obvious is better using technology to work effectively remotely, both internally and with our customers. That's a start. There will definitely be others.
Right. Well, I couldn't have said it any better. Absolutely. So, is there one positive thing that you could take away from this crisis or something that you'll continue to do when we return to the new normal?
I think one positive is that technology today makes it possible to really connect with people without seeing them in person. And I don't think we knew that before this crisis. At least I personally didn't. So this applies both in a work setting, but also with family and friends. And well, that will definitely continue.
Right, right. Well, it certainly made today possible. And when you mentioned family, I'm curious, how have they responded to the changes that we've all had to undergo?
I think they've all taken it very well. I will say my wife and I had been planning to downsize our house, and we're glad we haven't done that yet. We now have a full house with 3 college-age kids studying from home, so we're very lucky to have the space.
Absolutely. I have the same situation here. All 3 college age kids are home. And as much as they are looking to get back to their lives and leave the nest, honestly, we're glad we have the room and we're glad that they're here for now.
Yep.
So when you look at day to day, what's your best tip to get through a rough day?
So, my favorite way to deal with stress is exercise. And my habit is to do it first thing in the morning every day. And I find if I do that, as the day goes on, if I need to take a deep breath or need to take a short walk, that can also work wonders.
Nice. Nice. Thanks for sharing that. Dan, I want to thank you for being so transparent and engaging today. It's really refreshing to hear your optimism about the industry we both love and also the future of CRP. I really appreciate you taking the time.
Well, thank you, Trevor. I appreciate the opportunity. Let's all stay safe and figure out how to get the economy going again.
Absolutely. Be well, and I'll see you soon.